can't lose one more game. Shoresy.
This team will never lose again.
I'ma go and get some more. I ain't had enough. Yeah. Till them numbers on the board start to add up. I'ma go harder than most. I'ma go harder than most. I'ma go harder than most.
Shoresy, Goody, JJ, Dolo, and Hitch. And it's kind of funny with Hitch because his full name's Ted Hitchcock, but if you say it real fast, it sounds like 10-inch cock.
Been called worse, spies.
Well, good morning. See, Joe's just had his first Shoresy experience.
I'm already laughing.
There.
Damn, I'm going to have to check this show out. That's crazy.
There is what Shoresy's all about. But yeah, the legend that is Ted Hitchcock or 10-inch cock.
Oh my God.
I just got to say, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good golly, Miss Molly. Welcome to the Cult Comedy Crew. This show, I can guarantee, will never be monetized. In fact, it may not even stay up till the end of the show because we're only just getting begun with that kind of thing. Because Shoresy is a very particular kind of show. So
there's that big Avalanche fan.
Hey, how's it going?
All right, mate. How you doing? So
pretty good.
Welcome to this special crossover episode of Cult Comedy Crew with Bourbon and Boarding. And I must welcome my Bourbon and Boarding co-creator, co-everything, co-pathetic, Brahma Bull. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, good to see you. Just got done with work and picking the daughter up from school, so sorry I was running a couple of minutes behind.
Has she fixed her fantasy team yet?
She's got a right winger. I don't know if she's picked up any left wingers yet.
All right. Well, we don't want any left wingers, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
We got enough of those.
Only ever turn right. Go right. Yeah. So welcome to the show, my friend, and we're going to have a lot of fun here. We'll get into the details soon. But also joining me is a fellow hockey aficionado, although he is from Boston, so that means he doesn't really know that much about it. Pope Metallicus I.
How's it going, guys? Good to be back talking hockey. It's been a while since I've been on board Bourbon and Boarding since I started my show at the same time. So, but it'd be great to talk about. I absolutely love this show.
Oh, it's great. It's something else, and we're going to get into that in a little while. But also here is hockey novice. But already we've cracked him up with the first clip. It's our great friend Joe from Joe's Atmosphere. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm not really a novice. I know the game. It's just I don't watch it as much as most of others. But yes, when it comes to this show, I've never heard of it. But man, yeah, that looks like it's right up my alley. I'm gonna have to check this show out, no doubt.
It's a great show.
Yeah. But I do. I NFL is my thing. You know, if you go watching every sport there is, I'm going to get divorced. Okay. You know, my wife will never want to talk to me again.
Well,
you guys love hockey above the rest of them. I love boxing and football above the rest of them. So,
NFL is all very well, but hockey is a sport where people actually hit each other.
Yes, they do actually hit each other. Yes, they do.
They don't just pretend.
Man, that lead-in shot where you had all the clips. Oh, how hard do you have to hit somebody on the glass to shatter that stuff? It's safety glass. That's ridiculous.
That's our Bourbon and Boarding intro as opposed to the normal Cult Comedy Crew intro. So,
what a they must be laying on somebody to break that glass like that.
There's been, we try to highlight a lot of stuff like that on Bourbon and Boarding every Saturday night, 9:15 p.m. Mountain Time on Brahma and my channels simultaneously. And we had our first show in the series for season 3, Saturday night, where we did our live fantasy draft. Next Saturday, first show proper of the season will have begun. But we'll talk more about Bourbon and Boarding later.
When's opening night? When's opening
Friday,
night?
I think. Is it
Friday?
I believe it's Friday, yeah.
Or is it Friday, I think.
My brother, that's his favorite sport. He's all about the Bruins, just like Pope, just like me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So your brother's gay?
No, my brother's not gay.
See, that's a very Shoresy answer. So I want to welcome everyone in the chat for being here today. Tim is here, FKHC. Good to see you. The great Snorty. Hello to you too. Vince is here. Vince Womack. Good to see you, buddy. Davina. Welcome, Davina. The great D-Bud Martin is also here. Good to see you, buddy. We have a few others, I think. I'll just scroll and. Big Dave K is talking about what about mid-wingers? Is there a center would be a mid-winger, I think.
Yeah.
If there's anybody I've missed, forgive me. We will get to you later. Over on Rumble, I know Vince is hanging out there and taking care of things. Thank you, Vince. If indeed the stream is playing.
That's what I'm fixing to get into here.
I'm not so sure it is playing. Well, I'll see if I can figure that out. Technical, see, as we say, I set this up so long ago, this stream, that it's...
Yeah, it says upcoming. It doesn't look like it's playing.
Oh, we got to manually trigger this one somehow then. Let's see what we can do here. It's funny because I double-checked the settings this morning. Forgive me, everybody, while we do this technical support live on the show. I should just put the screen up. You can all see what I'm doing and how awfully I'm doing it. So we have... Okay, well, I don't know if it'll allow me to change these settings mid-stream, but we're going to give it a try, and hopefully the Rumble stream
we'll see what
come
happens.
alive. It's alive.
How is your Avalanche looking this year there, Brahma? How are they looking?
Well, power rankings have them at number 5, but we're missing 3 of our best wingers. Letterkenny is injured to start the season. Landeskog is still coming back after 2 seasons of not playing due to 3 knee surgeries. He's also our captain. He hasn't played a game since we won the Cup. And then we've got a situation with Val Nichushkin where he's in the Players' Health Program with his 3rd strike. So he's ineligible for 6 months, which ends in November. And then who knows if he gets to come back then. And if he screws up one more time, he's out of the league permanently. Damn. So the Avs are kind of up in the air right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of that policy, I know what the NFL's is. How stringent are they on performance enhancers and stuff like that?
Well, this one is specifically for like addiction type stuff. Okay. So it's not the performance enhancers or steroids. It's actual addictions and other issues off the ice, that kind of thing. So once you check into the program, you're kind of permanently in it, even if you don't want to be anymore, is my understanding of it. So since he had to check in the first time, he's subject to their rules the rest of his career. And so if he gets caught doing anything, then he goes right back into the system. And the first one, it's like 3 days that you're not allowed to play. Second one was 2 weeks. This one was 6 months. And then the last one, you're out. So,
yeah. Well, that's a shame. That's a shame. He's on his 2nd right now?
He's on the 3rd strike right now.
3rd. Oh, he's on the
1 more and he's gone.
Wow. That's a shame.
He got that right before the playoffs last year.
Oh, man. I mean, I'm in the rehab business for addiction, and I hate to see anybody wrapped up in something they just can't control. I hate it, man. I feel sorry for those folks, you know?
I feel sorry for him for the personal reasons, but for the sports reasons, I don't know if the locker room can accept him back.
Right, yeah.
This is 2 seasons that he has thrown away the playoffs by going into the Players' Assistance Program at the playoffs.
Right.
When you're needed most.
At that point, don't you have to get him out of that locker room and get him in a different organization? You know, if he's that talented, you know,
he just signed a contract last year. He's got like 7 more years. I don't know that anybody wants to take a chance on him. And he is one of the better scorers on the team and in the league. At times, he can be up towards the top of the league in scoring when he's actually doing it right. So I don't know that we can get rid of him because of the circumstances either.
Right. Nobody's going to want to take on that
good luck
baggage with that contract. If it was 1 year, that would be different, right?
And I don't know that you can cut him because it's part of the Players' Assistance Program. Right. So he's got protections there, kind of like a whistleblower in the government.
Right.
So my apologies, although they won't be able to hear me if they are trying to watch on Rumble. I've been unable to persuade it to start. So I think I've tried setting up a new stream on Rumble, and it just won't. It won't take, even though all the settings are right. So,
well, Vince is over here too. So
my apologies for that. So no Rumble stream today. Not to worry. Yeah. Anyway, everyone, as I was saying, the stream will never be monetized, even if they allow it to stay up. Spoiler alert: there will be some strong language and some sensitive subject matter. And obviously, thanks to everyone for hitting the like button, sharing the stream out, and if anyone wants to drop their Witcher a coin, feel free to do so, or consider becoming a member and all that good stuff, because I certainly won't be getting any ad revenue out of the stream afterwards. So yeah, what we're talking about today is unusual because we're here to do a cult comedy crew, and I think this show, Shoresy, and its predecessor, Letterkenny, are probably the only two comedy shows I've watched in the last 6-7 years that I can think of, because most TV comedy is worthless now. Normally we talk about old stuff on Cult Comedy Crew, but I thought let's get up to date and talk about the one show I think is worthwhile from a comedy perspective. For those who don't know about Shoresy, let's talk about it and where it came from. So it's 3 seasons in. It's a Canadian hockey-themed show. I think in Canada you can see it on the Crave channel, and in the USA it's on Hulu. 4th season is coming, 4th and final season, I think. And it's a spin-off from a show called Letterkenny, which was another Canadian comedy created by the same guy, Jared Keeso, which wrapped up its 12th season in December 2023. And Jacob Tierney and Jared Keeso created that. And Keeso developed this spin-off called Shoresy, which Jacob Tierney, his friend, directs and does appear in bits of it. And it's so the character of Shoresy existed in Letterkenny, but you never saw his face. It was played by Jared Keeso, but he didn't.
You saw his naked ass often enough.
Saw his naked ass a lot, which was a running joke. He was the hockey player in the Ontario town Letterkenny was set in, and because he played the main character in Letterkenny, he didn't want to show his face as Shoresy. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But Letterkenny was also a very, very, very funny Canadian comedy full of well, it's not PC, let's put it that way.
Great day for hey boys. Did you get her done? Just kidding, we don't give a fuck.
So Letterkenny, I think, has set the record for having the most different insults that you could ever fit in one television show.
Oh, easily.
I mean,
that's all it is back and forth insults.
So very, very funny. And I think Keeso, being a hockey fanatic, obviously wanted to take the Shoresy character and do something with him. And the show is a comedy, but for me, it's also a celebration of a blue-collar Canadian hockey culture, which is still extremely important in Canada, the hockey culture. And it's a Canada far removed from the ones you will see portrayed by the metropolitan elites as being Canada. You know, I don't want to get political, but the soy latte infused Ottawa elites. Not that Ottawa doesn't have its blue collar too. It's to me much more like the real Canada that I got to know and love when I first moved here, or when I first met my good lady wife, who's Canadian.
Maybe can you tell us what the juniors are compared to what things are in the US, because this is all the Canadian juniors teams, right?
Well, in a sense, it's seniors, but it's because juniors in Canada would be considered more the feeder teams with only a couple of overage players. But there's always usually a senior league too. So the junior league and senior league in Canada are much more robust than they might be in some places, if I can put it that way. And it's also a fundamental part of small town Canada or small city Canada. There's always a hockey arena, maybe 5,000, 6,000 capacity. And a lot of the life of that town will center around that arena and those teams. So the funny thing about Shoresy is that, like all modern shows, it's got the required amount of diversity and representation, but it's also at the same time as far from politically correct as is possible. In fact, it's been described as sexist, misogynistic, homophobic, foul-mouthed, violent, dumb, and stereotypical. And that was the favorable reviews.
You don't need to sell it to me any harder. I already watched it.
That's right. Don't sell it any harder to me. And so, despite the fact, as we'll see when we go through the cast, that it's got every box ticked that you could possibly tick, it shows ordinary people dealing with other ordinary people regardless of that. And everyone gives as good as they get. There are no sacred cows. Everyone can be insulted, shouted at, argued with, hit, punched, whatever, you know. So it's a great fine line that Jared Keeso and Jacob Tierney have made. With they've got all the boxes ticked that they have to have ticked, but nobody acts like those boxes are ticked. So it's great, you know. Yeah. In fact, it possibly goes out of its way to overcompensate in the other direction. So, for me, it is a great example of the Canadian small town hockey culture. It's Canada, I think, as I say, has got this reputation now of, well, it's all soy latte apologizing for this and kumbaya, whatever. That's maybe an image some people in Canada would like to represent. I think a vast amount of people are not like that. There's a strong blue collar, working class hockey culture. Hockey is the focus of a lot of it, but it's not the thing people present it as these days. We're all a bit rougher than they like to make us out to be. So, but set and filmed in the league that they play in. So Shoresy's team plays in the No-Show.
Yeah.
So the Northern Ontario Senior Hockey Organization, also described as senior whale shit hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this made up or is this a real organization?
It's made up, but it pretty much reflects reality. This is the thing. There are teams that like this, and the teams in this league, the No-Show. And winning the No-Show is everything. It's a 4-team league, and Shoresy's team starts out season 1 the bottom of the 4-team league.
Oh, no. No.
So it's set in a real place. Well, there's Letterkenny, by the way. So this was the Letterkenny cast with Jared Keeso at the front.
That's the early days of it.
That's the early days. But if you've never seen Letterkenny, then gird your loins and prepare for an experience like nothing else.
10 to 12 seasons. I mean,
yeah.
I know it's over 10. I can't remember if it's 11 or 12.
Yeah, something like that. It's 12 now, I think, with a 13. So as you can see, this is no soy boy latte show. It's playing rural Ontario farmers, etc. And they're as hard and rough as you can get, but hilarious. Sudbury. Shoresy is set in Sudbury. It's a real place. It's a way up
north
here.
of Michigan, huh?
Yeah, it's a way up here in Northern Ontario, with North Bay, which is a team that's in it as well. There's the Sault Ste. Marie's up here. Over here, there's 2 Sault Ste. Marie's, of course, so that becomes something of fun in the show. Pretty far north there, away from the metropolitan elites of Toronto and Ottawa. Sudbury is a city of something like 170,000 people.
Near the city with the funniest name I have ever seen, Petawawa.
Petawawa, yes. Yeah, Petawawa. Have you ever petted a wawa?
Never have.
Time or two, maybe.
I drove through Madawaska, Maine, on my way to my mother's house this last week. So
yeah, real place, and the city does feature a lot in it. This is the arena, which is where the real junior team, Sudbury Wolves of the Canadian Hockey League, play in this particular arena in Sudbury. You'll see it all the time in the show. Very typical of a small town city Canadian arena, probably a capacity of 8,000 or so. This is what it actually looks like, and I've spent a lot of time in arenas like this. And
that looks just like George's Pond here in the Hirsch Coliseum. Yep,
yeah,
sure does.
Always good.
It looks just like where Arizona was playing the last few seasons.
always great fun in arenas like this. To me, it's
to be fair, the Yotes do have the same draw as your average minor league team.
Yeah.
Yep.
I always love going to these arenas in every town I'm in, or even the smaller ones like the town I'm in now. The atmosphere is always great. Everyone's having a great time, and there's usually a great hockey game or a great fight interrupted by an occasional hockey game.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
One of those banners was from 1932.
Oof.
Yeah.
The far right one.
Yeah.
Just in the foreground.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I still have to admit, every time I see the Calgary team in this show, I think of you and just start dying laughing.
Oh, the Brooks Cattlemen,
Yep.
yes, with the so there's a lot of stereotypes in the teams in this.
I think
Like the PEI guys being all of the nicest fishermen you've ever met in your life.
Yeah.
I think I took a picture of the Mudbugs championship banners. I'm gonna try and find it for you.
So you mentioned we're kind of jumping around, but you mentioned the Prince Edward Island team, which is in season 3 of Shoresy, where they host the National Senior Championship. It's the PEI. I can't remember the name of the team. I've got it written down somewhere. Can never remember the names. Oh God, what were they called? PEI.
I don't recall. It's been too long since I watched the season.
Oh yeah,
already.
the Charlottetown Reds from Prince Edward Island, which is a fishing community in the far east of Canada, and they have their own particular way of speaking, which is parodied not parodied, is commented upon in the show.
Not unlike folks from Newfoundland, Prince Edward Islanders have some unique speech.
Example?
Ever seen the Prince Edward Island Encyclopedia on YouTube?
What's going on?
I'll fucking flatten you, young buck.
Well, I'm gonna come to your house and slam your fucking cupboards. Nice kit bag there, big nuts.
I'll beat you like you're on a fishing trip with your father.
Easy there, George Clooney. Where'd the cows die? Who the fuck are you?
What's in the fucking right here, man?
It sounds like
Those guys sound like everybody I ran into up in Maine.
I was going to say, it sounds like Mainers, just worse.
Yeah, they do.
No.
They do. They sound just like them.
It's the same thing, yeah. That's a real website, by the way, that she was talking about. The Prince Edward Island Dictionary. It's a real website. You can go on a real YouTube channel, and it's full of stuff like that. And honestly, it's hilarious. So they have a lot of this kind of stereotyping of Canadian communities across Canada brought into it when they bring these teams in. They've all got their own particular identity, and that's the eastern ones. But yeah, Sudbury, some of the real places in Sudbury are used in the show quite a lot. This is the nightclub where you see them hanging out quite a lot in it. And then this the pizza place, Peas or whatever it's called, Pepini. Can never remember the name of that either. What is the name of it's Pepini's, I think.
Sounds right.
Yeah. So these places are all used in the show. The show is like really popular there, as you can imagine. I met somebody from Sudbury not so long ago, and they were like, "Oh yeah, Shoresy, it's all about that now up there." So, and they mention this in the show a lot. The big nickel.
Yeah.
He talks about sit on the big nickel, if I can do it with you, Laura, whatever, Laura Moore. Because it's like the north of some of the northern states in America. Every small town has to have something big outside it.
The biggest ball of twine in Minnesota.
That's the one,
right?
So Sudbury has a big nickel. And I'll often remind of another show which we're going to do in Cult Comedy Crew one of these days called Corner Gas, which is another very funny Canadian show, much less foul-mouthed show, of course, where they're discussing having something big outside their small prairie town, and they settle on a used farming implement, which then gets called the Big Dirty Hoe.
That's awesome.
So the team in the no-show, it's the Sudbury Bulldogs, but then they get Eric K is gifted 5 memberships.
Hey.
Thank you, Eric.
All right.
That's very good of you. And who's getting Lord Thoth, Davina? Hey, Brahma's even a member now.
Let's fix it.
How'd that happen?
I can't take advantage of that. I'm already a member.
Yeah. So more than one member. You've got multiple members. That sounds like a Shoresy joke.
Yeah, it does.
And Big Dave K's got one. But thank you very much, the wonderful Eric K, for that gift. Things like memberships do help keep the lights on here, especially when I can't monetize half the stuff I do.
Right.
So I'm going to play something to thank Eric for this. I think it has to be something like this. Hockey at its finest.
Yes.
But yeah. So the Sudbury Bulldogs, later called the Sudbury Blueberry Bulldogs, as they finally get sponsorship from the Sudbury Blueberry Festival.
The Pineapple Pomeranians?
Yes, exactly. They play in the no-show. There are 4 teams, and typically as the show begins in season 1, they're at the bottom of a 4-team league, which Shoresy, who doubles as a high school linesman referee, is constantly being reminded of by the teenage players. Is bottom of a 4-team league. And they play the teams, the Timmins Timber Kings, the North Bay Norsemen, the Sioux Cyclones are the other 3 teams. But in season 2, an American team, the Sault Ste. Marie team from Michigan joins. So there are 2 teams called the Sioux. The American ones are the Sioux Cyclones, and that causes somewhat of confusion, of course. But this is the team. Sure. So let's talk about Shoresy himself. Well, I forgot to say Sudbury has a lot of running gags about it, which we'll probably get to, particularly around the fact that there's a sea of hot asses and hot girls there. And there seems to be an awful lot of hot girls distracting the players. In fact, even the guy that there's a show called The Kids Sports Report, who's done by a guy who doesn't seem like a kid. He just wants to talk about Sudbury hot wives.
Oh my God.
In fact, it's this guy here. This is. I got to play some of these clips now.
Let's get you introduced to the starting lineups from tomorrow night's matchup between the Sudbury Blueberry Bulldogs and the Charlottetown Reds via their official tournament program photos. Starting off with the host Bulldogs captain, number 69, Shore. I've spent some time with this fellow recently, and if given the opportunity again, I'd rather draw in my face with a box cutter. Would you look at him? That's a face only a mother should have smothered. Next we have number 4, Goodleaf, a man with all the charm of a clogged toilet. I've seen more charisma from stains on a dog bed. Number 14, Hitchcock, who is now offering to sit on your front porch on Halloween for a small fee. Number 3, Jodolo D. Abbey, who looks like he enjoyed some of the Johnny Red Eye that day. Number 10, JJ Frankie JJ, who I just know is walking around with a bad wife. And finally, number 19, Michaels, who sees the puck quite well for a guy whose eyes are so close together.
That's the Kids Sports Report. In fact, that guy, he's a really, he's not a kid. I don't know why he's got some real funny stuff that way. But especially
do they actually sell these jerseys? I wonder, because if they do, I'm going to have to get one for my brother. He collects stuff like this. He's got a Charlestown Chiefs jersey at home.
Yeah. So you can buy this on the Letterkenny and Shoresy websites, all the gear. Okay. Geordie Jordan is the guy that's doing the Kids Sports Report. He gets people to appear on the show by telling them he has cancer.
Yep.
And then one of his quotes is, 2 guests have cancelled and the Zamboni driver said no, so we've got number 69 Shore. Fans may know him from his mic'd up chirps, but what you may not know is he looks much older in person. How's it going, Shoresy? You look tired. There's a constant running battle between Shoresy and this guy and various others. It's combat all the time. Everything's combative, except when you get the tender hockey moments. And there's quite a few of those emotional moments. But yeah, Shoresy naturally picks number 69.
Of course.
Yeah.
And he actually had a 2-3 move to play this character.
He did.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
No.
That's dedication. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dedication to your craft. All right. Good Lord. Come on.
He was, played by Jared Keeso, the creator of this, and he's done such a great job because Letterkenny started it as a YouTube thing. It's become this great show, and then Shoresy as well. He didn't want to take the traditional route to the LA route, as he calls it. So, popular character in Letterkenny, despite never being seen, not his face. Yes, his ass, but not his face. He's a right winger, although some think his position is right centre on someone's mum. Which is a constant running gag, of course, about the moms. He's also a linesman for the local high school league, where he mercilessly chirps the boys, especially with references to their mothers. In fact, now would be a good time to play a little bit of that, I think. Hang on.
Fuck you, Shoresy. Fuck you, Corey. Your mom's twat's so swampy, not even Ducks Unlimited will touch her.
I'm getting the blocked warnings already.
Of course you are.
Because so he's a constant chirper, like he just can't help himself. Swears and insults everybody a lot, and he's got this weirdly high-pitched voice.
I'm pretty sure it's Keeso doing Jordan Peterson.
I think so. I think it's a Jordan Peterson thing. But he always carries a cup that he spits into. Well, that's his girlfriend, so he's always spitting into the spitter cup. I don't know if anybody knows anybody that does that.
Oh yeah,
no, not at all.
Yeah, better than spitting on the ground, I guess. He only ever cries for things that are related to hockey, like being made captain. He won't cry for anything. And his family in the show are hilarious because he comes from this family of, like, his father adopted all these diverse kids. You see how they slip the diversity in?
Right.
So, like, he's got, I don't know what you would call it. We still call him black, and there's no such thing as African Canadian, I don't think. He's got a couple of black siblings, one of whom's a lesbian, of course. So this is an Asian one or whatever. This is them slipping the stuff into the show, and I'm not knocking that. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I don't mean that in a horrible way. But they make a lot of fun out of that in those scenes when they're all together. So he manages to walk the line a bit. And he's always trying to chat up the love of his life, Laura Moore, who's a reporter in town. And there's a ton of pickup lines he uses for her. So
the scenes with her in the restaurants are great.
Oh, they're great. He's got all these. He's setting the big nickel for her, that kind of. But yeah, he's quite the character. Hockey focused, 100% in hockey. Everything is hockey. He's the guy that says when they're about to fold the team because they've lost so much, he says, he goes in and says, I promise, he says to the owner, I promise we'll never lose again.
We will never lose again.
If things are done his way. So I think that might be an appropriate time because Shoresy has a lot of sayings, and we have a great Shoresy imitator here in Brahma to show a few. Get Brahma to read.
Yeah, at least he can't get blocked if I read them.
Right.
That's right. Just read some of Shoresy's.
Shut down for other reasons, but it won't be for copyright.
Won't be for copyright. Yeah, we're going to get blocked for a lot of reasons. So, Shoresy's wit and wisdom. Brahma, you're on.
All right. Someone's got to set the tone. Are you even effing trying? You can try, eh? You're slower than molasses in January. So your sweetie finally comes to a game and you barely play. Is that more awkward than puberty, or is it pretty close? It's effing hockey. You go till you can't go no more. Huh? Which, you want to explain the huh? Do you have the explanation?
There's an absolute running gag throughout the entire show that when somebody will say something and Shoresy will go, huh?
Huh?
and eventually the others get to anticipate it. So they try and subvert him, the other characters, by preempting his huh.
Oh boy.
You'd have to watch it to get it, but it's just every time, huh?
You're about as sharp as a bowling ball, pal. You're like a dictionary, but all the pages are stuck together. You're as useful as a screen door on a submarine, bud. Give your balls a tug.
Which is another running gag. Give your balls a tug.
He uses that one constantly. Give your balls a tug. Let's go.
Yeah, that's the catchphrase for the show. Give your balls a tug.
Is that the same as check your package? Is that what he's trying to say?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh. So and he's not even the only one who says it. Nat brings it out every now and again too. The owner.
So speaking of Nat, Nat is I've got to go past it. Nat is the owner of the team, owner and general manager. This is again where diversity comes in. Her and her two colleagues are girl bosses, The difference being is that these are girl bosses who are quite happy to parade around in their underwear during.
I was fixing to say that's one fine ass boss. I'm down.
Generally, almost all the women in these shows are hot.
Yeah.
Well, that's a running gag too. That Sudbury has like an unbelievable amount of attractive women.
That's right.
Sudbury asses.
It's a sea of hot girls in Sudbury. So this is another thing that people complained about. Like they said, well, you know, you've got these girls in positions of power, but they're showing themselves off for the male gaze. Well, the actresses are pretty happy about it. So.
I mean,
the other funny thing is the guys get objectified more so. I mean, they openly refer to the hockey players as sluts throughout the entire freaking show.
They call them as sluts. They're all sluts, the hockey players, and the male calendar, which we're going to talk about, the hockey calendar.
That calendar.
But Nat and her colleagues end up doing a lot of stuff like this. So the show is
this is on Hulu, right?
Yes.
Yep. Good. Okay.
So Nat, like one of Nat's colleagues there, ends up in the Sanguinet, the coach, in the hot tub. She's pretty, yeah. So anyway, Nat, played by Tassia Teles, owner and general manager. She inherited the team from her mother. She loves hockey, but she can't support a failing team, and a failing team means no tickets being bought and no cash coming in the door. So that's.
Before you get too excited, Joe, you're more likely to see Michael's dick than you are to see any.
No,
any other women.
Don't do it to me.
You'll see a lot of male parts. Yes, there's Nat in her glory, and she's got her two colleagues, Zigwan and Zig and Mig. I would call them
Zigwan and Migwan.
Yeah, Zig and Mig. Mig is played by Kiliana Rose. Zig by Blair Lamora. And I can't pronounce her surname, Kitwat. They love chirping the hockey players, calling them sluts, but they're also quite happy. Well, is it Zig or Mig? It's with Sanguinet. I can't remember.
Mig, I think.
Mig, I think, yeah. And that hot tub scene's she's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, these are not girls who are unhappy about being
objectified.
Sanguinet is the coach. Made coach by Shoresy,
so that he can control him and the team.
And typically, he doesn't get a word in for the first 3 episodes because every time he opens his mouth, Shoresy says, "Shut the fuck up, Sanguinet." Meg is with Sanguinet. Thanks, D-Bud. Yeah. He's very soft-spoken and put up on, but he's actually he grows into the role and eventually actually starts doing some really good coaching stuff. Although Shoresy's always giving him shit, even though they're best friends, because he wasn't a great player, so he's made a coach. In fact, a lot of them weren't great players, which is why they were losing, which led to this magnificent scene.
Now, get out of the fucking way. The rest of you. You the most, you the second most, and you're useless. Actually, it's you the most and you the second most. You're young, dumb, and mostly all ugly. Like Fish, I would think you're ugly, but I saw you on a date with Samantha McMeekin at Respect is Burning, so you mustn't be. Tendy!
Shoresy.
You're the worst player on our team. Great in the room, but you're the worst player on our team. And your mom's a fucking dog. Yeah, laugh it up, Sommerfeld. Everyone knows what we call your mom. Sanguinet?
I'm not saying it.
Sumofeld. So, because we're so good, okay, and he's so bad, you serve us. Got it?
How?
Fish, Samantha McMeekin's ass is an all-time ass in a sea of unreal Sudbury asses, so like stick tap on taking her on a date and everything. But if you interrupt me one more time, you may as well just call Tendy's dog mom to come pick you up.
Tendy's dog mom. That right there encapsulates the whole thing. And he's doing it because he loves the team and he loves to win and he loves hockey, but he insults the fuck out of them.
And the best part is those scenes are some of my favorites in the whole show because it is how hockey teams are.
Right.
Oh God, yeah, brutal. But also
We're
you see,
ripping on each other
you do see many scenes later, particularly in season 2, so the end of season 1, where they're losing, but they fight their way back to respectability in the third period, where they all actually really bond. Like he goes out to Shoresy, goes out to Michaels, who he insults mercilessly, and comforts him for. It's just this weird team bonding thing. But no ego is spared. But yeah, Sanguinet, played by Harlan Blaine, who's actually been in a couple of movies here and there, which he's got a little bit of a career outside this. This is Dolo. Sorry, I keep saying Dolo. Dolo, who's a real rapper. Former third round NHL draft pick from Quebec, played by an actual junior hockey player and rapper, Jonathan Diaby, rap name Joe Dolo, and he was actually drafted by the Nashville Predators. So he's one of the players that Shoresy brings in when he makes the promise we'll never lose again. He has to bring some guys in, and so he goes looking for some. You would call them ringers, I guess, but he's pretty much playing himself in the show. It says almost everything in French.
Yep.
Which is another running gag. He does occasionally.
He understands English, but will only ever speak French back.
That's right. And then they seem to understand it, but they'll only ever speak English back to him, which is a very Canadian joke. And they switch a bit. There's at some point where there's characters speaking French on the Quebec TV show, and then when they know they're talking about characters in Ontario, they switch to English. Well, we're talking about people in Ontario now, so we'll switch to English. And he brings in the Jims. Well, there he is as an actual hockey player. But he brings in the Jims. The Jims are hilarious.
I would like to say that my career I was more like a JJ or maybe a Dolo, but no, I was one of the Jims.
You were in the Jims. And the Jims are based upon guys you may remember.
These guys are a fucking disgrace.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, they're Jimmer, Jimmy, and Jim Bob. So they just call them the Jims.
Oh my God.
Jim, and Jim.
They're security guards at the prison.
Yeah.
And they refuse to go by any other name but Jim. So
and they're also strangely involved in the trivia quiz at the prison where they play the prisoners all the time.
Yeah.
But they're they hate nicknames. That's why they're just Jim.
Right.
But they're the enforcers, obviously, and they're actually played by real players. There's Brandon and Jordan Nolan, NHL players. So Brandon was Carolina Hurricanes. Jordan was the Kings player. And the other one is John Mirasti, who's nicknamed Nasty in his career. So that gives you an idea of a bit of an idea where they're coming from, the Jims. Here they are in their day job. So they're brought in at the appropriate time in games to sort things out. But it's a very much a Hanson Brothers tribute, this. But
yeah.
But he also brings in some other guys. He brings in Brant Goody Goodleaf, former professional lacrosse player. This is the summer game in Canada, or used to be, supposedly. He's an actor, Andrew Antonin, and he was a former AAA junior hockey player as well. And he's got a catchphrase. Everything's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. So he's brought in. Then the famous, as we saw from the 10-inch cock, Ted Hitchcock, former first-round NHL draft pick. He's
Terry Ryan.
His name sounds a lot like 10-inch cock. Yeah. According to Joes.
Right.
He hails from Newfoundland, so he has a lot of the stereotypes for the Newfies, like the language.
I love the Beatles tattoo too. It just fucking sells it.
That's right, the Beatles tattoo. Lord Jesus by. Oh, Lord Jesus by. I mean, he's got the accent down pat. It's just brilliant. So he's brought 10-inch cock is brought in. Then you've got Sorry, I want to go back. I missed it. Sorry, I missed something. So Ted Hitchcock, he loves martinis, and he calls them martoonies. And he was in Letterkenny too, actually, in some episodes.
Yeah.
Terry Ryan, former Montreal Canadiens player, as Rama says, former Habs player. So there's some real. These guys can play.
Well, they had to go through a tryout to make sure that they could still skate because Keeso wanted it to look as authentic as possible.
That's right.
Like they thought they were going to an audition, and they found out it was actually a hockey tryout.
Hail to DJ Play Nice, and Davina's asking quite right. How many other TV shows are about hockey
these days? Not many.
Not a lot.
I can't really think of many at all. There may be some old Canadian ones I'm not aware of, but
yeah, I've never heard of one before.
I mean, hockey is featured in some shows, but it's
like Letterkenny.
Yeah, like Letterkenny, yeah, but it's not the main part of many other shows. But certainly, it's all revolves around hockey in this. But yeah, 10-inch cock. Michaels. Mark Michaels,
who was the coach,
played by Ryan McDonnell, starts as the head coach when they're losing, in the losing streak, but then is ousted by Shoresy's rebellion when the team was going to get shut down anyway. And he becomes the goalie. So the other guy gets booted out that he was saying, "You're the worst player."
Yeah.
Right.
It's gone. Michaels becomes the goalie, which is weird. But like all goalies, they regard him as crazy and weird.
Well, and Shoresy had to go beg him to come back to be the goalie because they hate each other. After he ousted him as the coach, they hate each other even more. But I think it's funny if you see, you're sitting here in the locker room, and if you notice, Sanguinette's the only one who's not in skates or any uniform at all because he's that bad at hockey. That's
right.
That's why Shoresy volunteers him as the new coach.
Doesn't even get on the bench. Yeah. But yeah, Michaels. It's funny because Michaels and Shoresy hate each other. Shoresy treats Michaels like shit. But there's times when he goes on the ice and comforts him.
Everything in hockey is separate from everything outside.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like so, there's that bonding thing. Like it's hockey supersedes all of that stuff at the end of the day.
And I forget how Shoresy describes Sanguinet. Isn't he like? It was like because he was like, "Oh, well, how am I going to coach if I'm playing?" It's like, buddy, you're a healthy scratcher on the lowest ranked team in senior whale shit hockey.
So he's and he's not a bad goalie. I mean, he pleases even when shit goes down. Sometimes Shoresy says, "It's not your fault. You know, we let them shoot on you." You know, he seems to be the only team member that can't make it with the girls, despite the hot number of girls in Sudbury. To the extent that his girlfriend is the biggest slut around.
And despite that, he has a gigantic dick.
That's right. It's true. He's got the real 10-inch cock, yeah. The actor, actually, Ryan McDonnell, he's a regular on a lot of shows, was a regular on a lot of shows in the CW, but also, there he is, Shoresy comforting him. You know, he's a captain, Shoresy, so he takes care of his guys on the ice. But he was in BSG.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is where I recognized him from. Yeah. It was hard to place him, but yeah.
Gonzo Pike, in BSG, one of the pilots. I totally forgotten about that when I watched Shoresy. And so another major guy that he brings in, as opposed to Michaels, who was there, is the Quebec representative, Frankie JJ.
It's Pope Metallicus I, minus the mohawk.
Like I said, I look like JJ, but I play like one of the gyms.
Yeah. So Jean-Jacques Francois Jacques Jean, JJ, played by Max Bouffard. Now the funny thing is, he was also in Letterkenny, where he played against Shoresy's team in Letterkenny, and Shoresy slashed him out of a game. They hate each other's guts, and yet he calls out to him to come and join this team, and he does it. But even though they're bitter rivals, so much so that Shoresy trains his parrot to say "tip fucker" every time this guy's name is every time somebody mentions him, "tip fucker, tip fucker." Big Sexy, that's the name of his parrot. We've got a picture of him there. This is a guy played by a guy called Max Bouffard. Now, JJ is the pride of Quebec. It's a running gag throughout the show, and he dates all these hot Quebec starlets,
models and stars,
singers.
Wow.
Sometimes 4 of them at once.
To the point that there's a TV show where all the girls get together and talk about how he screwed them over.
Damn.
But whilst he's very firmly in that side of the fence himself, he's also very popular with the Sudbury gay community, as he's the Major League Bear.
For the calendar.
The calendar, and the gay calendar, the male calendar, the team calendar they do, which a lot of hockey teams do, becomes huge with the Sudbury gay community because of JJ. And they actually have an award for him at the nightclub where they have a party and they give him this gay award for being so great with the gay community.
A gay icon.
A gay icon, which actually leads to some very interesting. Here's Shoresy and him in Letterkenny.
Yep.
That's where he slashes.
That's how they hid Shoresy in Letterkenny. They just put him behind a blacked out visor when he was on the ice. Yeah,
about to slash the hell out of JJ. So they have this party, and there's a running gag in that episode about names they could have for it, because it's a gay party based on hockey. So these were some of the names they proposed. Going to the dirty places. Man on man was another one. Hard on the puck.
Tip on.
The tip in. The back door tuck in.
Oh, where's Gary when we have that one?
Right.
The D man. The too many men. But the winner was the man advantage. So this is what I mean when I say the show kind of walks this line between, it ticks the boxes, but it also isn't afraid to be funny about it.
Yeah.
We need Gary. Yeah, we need Gary here.
Yep.
Culture minefield Gary. He should be here for this.
Right.
I don't know what Keeso's actual politics are, but from what we've seen in Letterkenny and this, he's pretty based. I mean, socially, he's pretty accepting of most things, but he's pretty based on almost all the lines he takes.
Well, there's some stuff in the 3rd season, particularly, where he talks about getting hockey back to what it should be. You know, winning and fighting and team stuff, and let's make hockey what it used to be. Where I think he's trying to sort of talk against the encroachment of, you can't hit, you can't fight, and the wider societal pressures on hockey. So he's talking about it from a hockey perspective, but he could be talking about other things. I don't know. But the show itself is completely ticks all the boxes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time,
in a funny way.
In a funny way, and a very foul-mouthed funny way. It's not...
That's great, though. If they're out in front with it and it's funny, that's great.
But that's true inclusivity and diversity, in my opinion, which is that people in the show act like people towards each other. They don't put people on a pedestal. Everyone's having a go at each other, but they're also supporting each other at times. It's there's a lot of insulting. Nobody gets off scot-free. So make of that what you will. The show doesn't get political, but there are messages in there around hockey, particularly, and what it should be, which for Shoresy it's everything, and it's about winning.
It's all about winning.
But he does say you'll lose 1,000 times, but you'll always remember the wins. So
there you go.
But anyway, I think my favorite in that would probably be backdoor tuck in.
That one was pretty good.
So anyway, that's when JJ gets paraded at the club, and they all have a great night out. As you can see, the calendar and the I wonder why it appealed to the gay community in Sudbury, but yeah, Frankie. Another quote about Frankie is a single Frankie JJ fart can smell like up to 4 different types of fast food.
So culture.
I love how he almost never refers to JJ in this show with anything other than a fat joke.
But what's interesting about that is that when they go from a losing team to a winning team, they then have the pressures of not only winning all the time, but the fact that they've got all these people chasing them, girls and in some cases guys, all the distractions of becoming super famous in Sudbury.
Right.
So they've got those pressures, which is a pressure you would maybe want to have. But I mean, they're trying to win. Shoresy wants to win, and JG's got all these women on TV fighting over him and arguing about him. And, so the calendar thing is funny though, because Shoresy and others don't want to do it, but Shoresy turns up. This is how he turns up to do it.
Is your whole body that color?
Yeah?
Even your junk?
Yeah?
Nice.
They did your junk too.
I did my own junk.
How?
You just take the spray gun, you spray your junk, a monkey could do it.
Did you do your butthole too?
Let's just get these guys greased down and spray tan so we can be done with it.
What?
You want everyone to get a spray tan?
Well, except Dolo.
Why not Dolo?
Well, he can if he wants to. He's included. You're an idiot.
This is a bit.
So that's except Dolo, the black guy.
The black guy.
Well, he can if he wants to. He's included.
Oh my God, that's too much.
That's how Shoresy and Jared Keeso approaches this stuff. It's quite funny. But
when he goes in on something, he goes all in.
These guys have got to be big fans of Slapshot, because if they're talking about a calendar, right? You remember they did fashion shows in that one, right? Yeah,
they all the fur jackets and that. But
right?
Slapshot, of course, is the gold standard. That and Goon for me are the gold standard of hockey comedy movies. The calendar is quite an interesting one. There's some other recurring characters. These are not in a lot of episodes, but they have a French Canadian commentary team.
Oh, there you go. I was about to ask if they had the commentators like the guy with the bad toupee and stuff.
This is in Northern Ontario, and they're doing it all in French.
It's like having the Spanish announcers table at the WWE.
Right, exactly.
Remy Nadreau and Benny Brodeur, played by Jacob. Well, Jacob Tierney is playing Benny Brodeur here, so he's the co-creator of all this. There's also Big Sexy, of course, that we mentioned earlier. He says, "Titburger." It's just so funny. I mean, you think that'll get old pretty quickly. It never gets old. Never.
And it's because they don't overuse it. It's just right there every now and again, or just when you've forgotten about it, he pipes up.
And I think they're all pretty much living in Shoresy's apartment as well.
Yeah.
They're always there.
That's where all the girls were going in and out of that we were seeing earlier in that clip.
Yeah. And then there's the guy we talked about earlier, the kids sports report guy, Jordan, who's hilarious. There's some other reporters and various media people in, and there's many other recurring characters, but that's kind of like the main ones. So, excuse me.
You're just missing the one. I mean, there's the other reporters, but definitely Anique.
Oh, yeah.
The other holdover from Letterkenny.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yes. I'm missing.
The gorgeous Kim Cloutier.
Indeed.
Did you say Kim Cloutier? Ooh, that sounds very interesting.
She's hot.
Very, very hot.
Yeah. So somebody can go look up a picture of her quickly. So that's kind of the cast of characters mainly. As I say, Mr. Neat, but season 1 sees them on a 20-game losing streak. 20-game losing streak.
In a league with only 4 teams.
4 teams.
With only 4 teams.
The city doesn't care about them. Team's going to fold. Shoresy promises that if you're allowed to run things this way, the team will never lose again. And Nat agrees with the proviso that if they do lose even one game, the team will fold. She'll fold the team.
We will never lose again.
Their arch rivals at that point are the Ontario Sioux Saint-Marie team, because the American team isn't in it yet. And Ego has to go and bring in a bunch of new players, and they do start winning. There's going to be spoilers here, inevitably. Sorry about this, but they do lose the final game against the Sioux. And this is what I like about the hockey spirit of it. They're 2 periods in, they're losing. They're 5-0 down, I think it is. And they don't think they're going to win, but they go, look, we've got 1 period left. Let's at least go out and give everyone a show. And so they go out and they get the crowd going. They start fighting. They get a couple of goals, and they almost end the game like they've won, even though they lose 5-2 because they played so well in the third. The crowd's going nuts. And then Nat decides, well, she says, we'll keep the team going, even though you lost, with one proviso. You've all got to actually start training, which is something that these guys don't do. They don't train. All right, here we go.
Yeah, that's her. She's
That's
gorgeous,
her.
man. Wow.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She's a Canadian lingerie model.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the show has the requisite amount of hot girls.
Yes.
Yeah, that's about the only representation you don't get in Shoresy is an ugly chick.
The closest you get is maybe the women from the league.
But
that Shoresy is constantly hitting on.
It's because there's a sea of hot asses in Sudbury.
Yeah,
it's amazing. But yeah, I love the hockey sense of it, in that they put up a fighting performance in one period, and it makes up for an awful lot. They fight as a team, and at least salvage some pride. But the training thing, yeah, when Nat gets some training gear and like running tracks and weights, and Shoresy goes, "What's this? What the hell is this?
What the hell are we doing here?
This? No one's going to use this." Yeah, it's funny. So this is a bit of a clip from that last episode of the first season.
She'd love to know, do you love me? She'd love to know, do you love me?
So it kind of just gives you a little taste of how that one concludes in a way, because the hockeyness, the hockey team spirit of it, there's a lot of those emotional moments. At the end of the third season, I found that last episode quite emotional, because Shoresy retired, or saying he's going to retire or whatever. And they have a big comeback in that game, though.
Of course.
Yes.
I like too is that they point out some of the cultural differences in hockey between Canada and the U.S. too. Like in Canada, apparently they take a knee at the end of the season to thank the fans, whereas we all line up at center ice
with the sticks
on the ice, and then skate off with do one last lap with our stick in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and season 2 of the show, the Bulldogs, yes, they lost that playoff game at the end of the first season, but they chase a league record in season 2 and win to get the championship, and that brings its own problems, as we mentioned, with success and stuff like calendars and hot girls.
Everybody wants them now.
Yeah. And
they
then
concentrate on the hockey.
The new American team is brought in to the Canadian
Hockey League.
The Canadian Hockey League. Yeah, as we know, that's a real thing, of course. But
it is.
The Sioux Hunt. I love their jerseys.
Yeah.
That's badass.
You can buy those. This is all on the website, the Shoresy and Letterkenny websites. Yeah, the Sioux Hunt. Who now there's 2 teams called the Sioux.
Yeah.
And Shoresy starts to get into league trouble because he fights a lot. He does fight, except when he doesn't drop the gloves because he wants to prove that it was their fight, not him. They did it. And there's a lot of all the hockey tropes are in there.
Fighting. I mean, he's very much the guy that just instigates. He just talks so much shit, hits dirty, and then backs off when the fight starts.
Yeah, he knows when he needs to spend some time in the box to get the team motivated.
Yep.
Which is pretty neat. So the Sioux Hunt join, and they're deadly rivals. They're deadly rivals because it's the Yanks. We got to beat the Yanks. We can't lose to the Yanks. We can't lose to the Yanks. It's all about that.
You'd think they'd be used to it with their NHL teams.
Well,
yeah.
I know. Well, will a Canadian team ever win the Stanley Cup again?
Right. Toronto.
It was close this time. Maybe it'll be. I mean, the Oilers are favorites this time.
Although knowing Canada's luck, it will be Toronto, the team everyone else hates.
Right.
Oh, That's right. I think it's funny because a lot of Canadians they say things like, "Well, there's one Canadian team left. Everybody should get behind them and support them." They go, "Fuck
Screw
that, it's
Toronto."
right? And then Calgary fans go, "Screw that, it's Edmonton."
I don't know who would be worse, Toronto or the Habs, because everyone hates both of them.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then I'm just kind of flipping through the season because I don't have tons of images or stuff. It would be too many. 3 seasons of a show we're talking about.
Yeah.
The first season is an interesting one for me. They do lose. Well, spoiler alert. They do lose the record-breaking season, but the Yanks perhaps prevail. They're all, but the injuries start to mount in season 3. They're all banged up.
Oh no.
And injured, but they're hosting. Sudbury's hosting the National Senior Championships in season 3. So you got teams coming from across Canada, and obviously the Sudbury Blueberry Bulldogs are playing. Here's Shoresy he hurts his ankle in one game, and then another game he gets absolutely laid the fuck out and concussed. Out. And he gets concussed, and that provides a lot of the emotional stuff later in the season because he's facing up to the fact he actually may have to retire, like stop playing, and this is his life. Playing hockey is his life. So there's quite an emotional punch in the last couple of episodes, I thought. But
yeah.
And it does talk. I mean, head injuries and concussions are an issue in hockey, so it doesn't shy away from that. A boot. So the teams that come from across Canada are funny to play in this. They're just absolute stereotypes. So we had the Charlottetown Reds, the PEI guys, who are all about the seafood, and they're nice and they're very polite.
Yeah, their captain is gorgeous Gord Gallant.
Gorgeous Gord Gallant, yeah. And he's all, I brought a whole load of crabs for you and lobster. And Shoresy's like, get the fuck out of here. Right. What are you trying to do? Stop this. The Brooks Cattlemen, who are from the Alberta team, and they've all got cowboy hats. And
their 2 captains there are like so stupid they can't even figure out what's going on half the time.
Well, oh god, there's a funny one in that, which is they're being interviewed about, you might have to go home, the interviewer says, and it's a 30-hour journey to get here. Don't you want to, fight hard to stay in? And the guy goes, something like 30 hours. He says, I once did that in a day.
My favorite's the one where they're all talking about suspending Shoresy, and like those 2 just have no fucking clue what's going on, and everyone else is talking.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're the 2 big guys from Alberta, which is actually interesting because Jared Keeso, although he's from Ontario, he supports the Calgary Flames.
Oh.
Gross.
Yeah, he's a born Flames. His father took him to a game. I've got an interview. If we've got time, I might play it. Then there's the team from Ontario, the Vaughan, which is a city outside Toronto. The Vaughan Canadesi, all Italians.
Oh my god!
Every player's Italian, and and the one line is that their captain was too dirty to play for Boston.
Dirty Sly, Dirty Sly Silvestri.
Dirty Sly Silvestri. That's it. Imagine being too dirty to play for the Bruins.
Right. And he's such an asshole. I cannot help but think that it's supposed to be Brad Marchand, especially because he's short.
Right.
Their logo is the Italian flag on a maple leaf, kind of.
Yep.
Because this is the Canadian stereotypes about people from different areas, and then there's the Quebec team, Les Rapides de Rodon, who. I don't know what Rodon is. I guess it's the name of the town. Not Raw Dog. That would be different.
I'm kind of surprised they never made that joke.
Right.
Well, I was listening for it, and it never happened. There's a lot of aggro in between these, and Shoresy especially sticks it to them verbally all the time. They're winding them up. I don't have all the clips of that, but. It's funny because right at the very end, after the tournament's over, they're all sitting around the table eating the seafood that they brought, drinking and yucking it up because it's over, and they're all friends. They're all friends after that. They're hanging out. But yeah, Shoresy does get injured. Oh yeah, he nicknames the team the Teenage Mutant Injured Turtles.
Also known as the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's another line which you didn't have it in? So he says, "Check his ovaries." He says,
Check his ovaries.
Check his ovaries.
Oh man. Too good.
It's so funny. Yeah, Sly Silvestri of the Vaughn.
Too much fun.
Sly Silvestri. I mean, you couldn't get any more stereotypical Italian.
Right.
And he pulls a Matt Cook, too, because they send the gyms out there to deal with him after he flashes somebody. And he runs off the ice and puts somebody else on.
Yeah, there's also a lot of subplots going on about there's webinars, and they're talking to kids about diet and talking to kids about playing hockey at the local school because there's celebrities now that are winning. And then there's also, I can't remember what it is. Somebody asks Shoresy to name 2 continents, and he says, "Oh, mustard and relish." It's just full of jokes. It's just a joke fest, the whole thing. He doesn't, either he's been deliberately provocative,
right? Stupid.
But he gets suspended. He misses a game because of the concussion. He gets suspended. He's in the stand watching the game, and he gets suspended for the next game because he starts a fight in the stands.
Oh my god!
Which is also a very small town hockey thing.
Yes, it is. Oh my gosh!
This is what I didn't.
Especially around playoff time, right? Yeah. You know,
I didn't punch him. I threw a beer at him. But then, of course, that would be it's the final game of the Nationals. It's just his final game he'll ever play because he's forced, because of a concussion, to retire. They forced him to let him play, and they were going to suspend him. And like, you can't suspend me for this. This is maybe it, you know. So the last one's pure gold for me. The last episode of season 3, and it's not the end of the show. There's one more season. A lot of emotion, a lot of triumph and tragedy, and great hockey. Sports from a sports movie or TV perspective, right? Fight back when they're down.
Yeah,
all the stuff you have to do. It's just like, for me, that episode is the culmination of the whole show. It's so beautiful. What will happen in season 4 remains to be seen. Well, is he going to coach or do media or play again? Who knows? But we should play. Should play some of Shoresy's greatest hits, I think. Here's one of him insulting the Timmins Timber guys. I think it's them, because obviously they're from a farming environment.
Hey, how'd that corn come in, Appledore, and she knee-high by the 4th of July? Hey, you ever see any crop circles out there? Hey, when you're driving by a field of cows, how hard is it to not just pull over and rope one of them right there? Fuck you, Shoresy.
I just want to rope one. I don't know if that was the Timmins team or not.
It is, I think.
Is it Timmins?
The one with all the Appledorns on it.
Yeah,
I like the crop circle joke. That was pretty good.
So there's like 4 Appledorns on the team.
Actually, I think there's like 8 of them. Because he's like going out. He's like, out of all 8, you're the youngest and the dumbest.
And believe it or not, this is toned down Shoresy from Letterkenny.
Oh, yeah. God, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
His chirps are toned down quite a bit. At least they're focused on a few different things. Letterkenny, it was all your mom.
Wow.
Well, funny you should mention moms, because moms are a big part of the show. Let's have some of Shoresy's greatest hits when it comes to the teenagers he's refereeing for and their moms.
Don't worry, Liam, I don't laugh at your mom's jokes either, and every time she's like, what? I'm funny. I don't laugh at your mom's jokes either, Cor, and every time she's like, be nice to me. Regular season league record only blowed in playoffs. Must sting. A little bit, Cor. Any regrets? My only regret is not serving my country. Oh, yeah? Yeah, and I think about it every time I go to war on your mom's ass.
You're fucking awful, Shoresy.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, Shoresy.
Fuck you, Liam. Better tell your mom to go get checked out. I saw Corey's mom last night. Now my dick feels like it ate a pack of halls.
Clean it up.
Yeah, tell that to your mom, Corey. She climbed over my gear shift last night to hop on my wiener. That thing still smells like shrimp scampi.
Fuck you, Shoresy.
Fuck you, Liam. Every time I hit your mom from the back, it sounds like someone running in flip-flops.
Fuck you.
Corey, I got your mom on speed dial and Liam's mom blocked. I don't know which one should be more embarrassed.
Flip-flops, running in flip-flops.
Running in flip-flops. That's fucked up. That is fucked up.
If anyone out there's never seen this show, you got to go watch it. And it's honest, I die laughing.
Oh my
The best part of that running gag is like whenever anyone introduces like, you know, some young hot girl, he's just like, yeah, she's a bit young, but you know.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've sold me on it. I'm gonna have to check this show out, no doubt.
I don't know which is more embarrassing. One's in speed dial, one's blocked.
Yeah, right.
My dick feels like it swallowed a pack of Halls.
Halls, right? What in the hell?
The running in flip-flops one just did it for me.
I wonder how much of that was written and how much of that he came up with on the fly.
Oh my God.
Got to think that a lot of it was he came up with. But on the other hand, I mean, I've never been a referee or linesman in junior, or this is high school hockey. Who the frick knows what they say? I mean,
right?
I mean, it is Shoresy, so probably it's totally inappropriate. In fact, I do have a little more of that. Let's try this one.
Yeah, did you tuck your dick back between your legs for that too? Doesn't matter, Corey. Your mom will still find a way to grab it. Liam, can you just hurry up and finish this game? Your mom's still waiting for me to come back with a warm, wet towel.
Fuck you, Shoresy.
Fuck you, Liam. Your mom carved her initials into my bed frame. How am I supposed to explain that to Corey's mom?
Fuck you, Shoresy.
Fuck you, Corey. Your mom's texts are so full of spelling mistakes, I can barely figure out what time she wants me to come over.
Fuck you, Shoresy.
Liam, did you know your mom calls her mitt or wet wallet?
Fuck you.
Boys, just tell your moms to leave me alone. I'm not getting matching tattoos with them.
Hope the Yanks fucking toss you, Shoresy.
I love that they're talking about the calendar at the beginning because they're trying to take the piss out of him for the calendar shoot. And did you tuck your dick away for that one?
Oh my God.
No, you're not. So your mother could still find it. It's okay.
Oh my God. That's brutal.
Yeah,
but hey, that's locker room humor at its best.
I mean, like that's what I love about this show. It brings me right back to when I used to play and just the constant shit talking.
Yes,
whether it be teammates, the refs, each other, the other team, everybody.
Yeah, there's just a shot of him and Laura Moore as he's constantly chatting her up. But actually, it's funny because at one point she basically offers him to come in and he can't for various plot reasons, so he actually turns down the chance to go be with her. But anyway, it's funny because he does treat her with. It's the only person in the show he treats with respect. It's the girl. This girl,
the reporter.
The reporter. But I like the backdrop here. You'll see that in every minor hockey arena. There'll be a few displays like this.
Yeah,
it's just
definitely
neat. I love that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They've created all this with the Bulldog stuff in it, even though they don't exist, which is quite neat. It's quite well done. So, yeah, it's quite the show.
It sounds.
I put a short in the private chat.
Oh, right. Okay, hang on. Let me just find that. I got a couple more clips we can play too, but let me just copy that.
This is not in the movie for once.
Yeah.
I gotta make sure I've got this in the correct browser so we can hear it. It's okay. You want me to play it, yeah?
Yeah. It's from the show. It's when the reporters are talking about the dirtiest player in the league.
Oh boy.
Lady, gents.
Can you hear it?
The dirtiest player by far of all time is a dude called
Shoresy?
Who?
Shoresy.
Him.
Shoresy. Yeah, I watched the coverage of that national senior championship. If he's that dirty all the time, like how dirty?
Well, he's gonna get you. He doesn't care who you are.
Oh.
Does he have to be on the ice?
Well, with Pest, they always say you'd love them if they were on your team, but
No. His stick budget must be stupid because he breaks 1 or 2 a game over something or someone. Gents, the dirtiest player by far.
That's replaying now.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's like the opening scene from the show. They have all the announcers talking about
before you
about the
even
league.
meet him.
Is that the broadcast? The broadcast? Or was
The
that
bro
different?
dude, yeah, the bro dude energy.
Bro dude, bro dude.
Yeah. And that's where they also talk about even interviewing him is horrible because you ask a question and he immediately responds, "What?
What?
Huh?
Hey,
Huh?
huh?
Huh?"
That's right. Yeah, it's so bad that, as we said, they start to anticipate it later in the show, trying to head him off before he can do it. The cup does not help. Yeah.
They'll even get you from off the bench, and it just shows somebody reaching and sticking the ball sack.
Yeah.
That's great.
Lord Thoth indeed has suffered from that. His balls have been tapped several times, and I'm assuming he means by a hockey stick.
I would hope.
You never
by a
know.
hockey
Here's a
stick.
goalie.
What's all 3 of your fastest puck speed at the Hockey Hall of Fame? Oh, geez, I don't know.
0.
I know Charo's got
I
the
don't know,
record
dude.
of like 108.
First of all, welcome to the dude, but I'm not sure I'll have to think about that one. Puck speed. Is that shot speed or puck skating? Puck skating speed.
I would think shot speed.
Shot speed, yeah.
I would imagine how fast.
But hail to the dude. Shoresy also uses the facilities before the game and during each period break. That's true.
Yep.
He does. I got more video.
Go.
All right.
I have more video. This is in season 2, I think, when they're being distracted by success and by hotties.
Too many distractions, Shoresy. Priority is a perfect season.
Seriously, Nat, I want that fucking record, but like...
I've got my priorities straight.
Sanger, don't be a pussy.
But what, slut?
But like the boys are right up against it.
Why?
Well, 1, we're on a 20-game heater.
And 2?
There's an impossible amount of good-looking girls in Sudbury.
C'est vrai. Too bad all the dudes are ugly, though.
And all the dudes are sluts. And that's the guys.
Oh, man.
Good one. Yeah, I did that. I'm just checking. I don't want to miss any of the clips that I actually did. I think I may have covered all of them. I did the kids insulting the gay calendar, I think.
Yep.
Or did
Don't worry, bud. Your spray tan mid-December in Northern Ontario didn't stand out at all.
Glad to hear, Liam.
Don't worry, no one's calling you Jersey Shoresy. It get weird at all having one of the boys grease you up?
Nope.
No? Didn't think, what have I been doing with broads all these years? This is terrific.
Well, it's only gay if you get hard.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, isn't that what you told me, Cor?
What?
Hey, didn't you tell me if you keep your socks on, it's not gay, something like that?
Fuck you, Shoresy.
if you keep your socks on. But this is what I mean about he walks this line. I mean, there's not many comedy shows who could get away with that now.
No.
On TV. I don't think you could.
No.
Definitely not here.
No.
God,
I mean,
no, this show would never fly in the United States.
And yet it's actively going on right now.
yeah,
Yes.
but I like it. He calls him Jersey Shoresy. So anyway, there is Shoresy. That may have been the last clip I had. Yeah, I think it was. So. I got one more.
How do you make that fucking call in a game this tight? It's a fucking 1-goal game.
Yeah, thanks, Stewardess Obvious. Cut the lip.
Fuck you, Shoresy.
One more Neutrogena tantrum out of you and you're getting the gate, bud. Try me.
Whatever.
Don't take your fucking Accutane rage out on me.
Horrible call.
Sit down, you fucking crater face.
It's your Accutane rage.
Oh, Lord Thoth, you should have been on. Yes, you should have been on the panel, Lord Thoth. Absolutely.
Neutrogena. Oh my
we'll have to do
God.
more hockey talk. Well, I mean, Bourbon and Boarding, we've been talking, Blam and I, for ages about doing some hockey movies at some point. We will. We'll get round to that.
There's not many of them. There's not really that many hockey movies.
Obviously the Slapshot. There's the two Goon movies, Mighty Ducks 1, 2,
the Mighty Ducks series. What was the one Rob Lowe was in?
Youngblood.
Youngblood.
Yeah. Of course, the absolute classic.
This movie, Youngblood, on
Patrick
VHS.
Swayze. Yeah. I remember that one.
Keanu Reeves is in this, isn't he?
I believe so.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he's the goalie.
I mean, that video cover looks so straight.
Yeah, doesn't it? Them
I'm
big
surprised-
80s haircuts. Wow.
What's him big in that one? Look at this in all its glory.
Oh my God. Are you sure that's not the cover of a Wham album?
Well, that's what it looks like. Yeah. It's
Might even be gayer than that.
Oh, there's what I mean is the cutting edge a hockey movie,
right?
The one where he becomes a figure skater.
Oh yeah,
yeah. There's a few other. There's a few more.
Slapshot's the only hockey movie as far as I'm concerned. I could watch that on a loop, buddy.
I think
Miracle with Kurt Russell. Come on now, that movie's great.
Yeah. Miracle.
Yeah, Miracle is good. Yeah, you're right.
Once you start going, you start thinking of them. But I have to say that TV shows, as we mentioned, not so many.
Yeah, this is one of the only ones I'm really familiar with.
Yeah. And I just, I mean, I loved Letterkenny. I love it. Loved it. Loved suggests it's way in the past, but it's still got one more season to go, I think. Or is it?
No, it just this
12 was it.
This was it. It wrapped.
I love how they mentioned that in the opening to this show too. Just like, oh yeah, your friends up in Letterkenny. It's like, first of all, they're not my friends.
That's right. Yeah. Well, they do explain in Letterkenny that why he leaves the. Like they explain he gets transferred to the Sudbury Bulldogs at some point. I think they mention it in Letterkenny. Yeah, it's. But yeah, his appearances in that were funny because you saw him doing like working out. You'd see his back.
Or he'd be in the showers doing a handstand, washing his butt.
That's right. And I guess
butthole straight up to the faucet. That's how you'd see him in the showers.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
So just to play, I want to play a little bit of this interview with some of the guys here. So let me just bring this up.
Familiar faces here at the United Center. We got Jared, Andrew, Terry, and Jonathan, stars of Shoresy, and this is great because I know you guys just were on the Chicago side of things doing some introductions, but maybe just what brings you to Chicago first of all, and the opportunity to catch a game. But Terry, maybe we'll start with you.
Nick Foligno is from Sudbury, and he's buddies with us. More importantly, Keeso, and Jared was basically twisting our arm to go to an NHL game this year. Why not come and support our good buddy from Sudbury, and any excuse to get together.
Well, and maybe the timing works out perfect because I know you're a Flames fan too, Jared. And maybe let's just start with that. How did the fandom to the Flames side come, and maybe perfect timing to be able to catch a Flames game here too?
Yeah. Timing was outstanding to bring the boys down and everything. But yeah, I guess the genesis was the first game. My dad took my brother and I too. We grew up in small town Ontario. Was Flames and Leafs at Maple Leaf Gardens, and Dad likes to get there for warm-up, likes to watch the entire warm-up. We're sitting in the Flames end. The time they've got, Joel Otto, Al McInnes, Mike Vernon, Theo Fleury, Joe Nieuwendyk, Gary Roberts, I think, at the time too. So they had all the studs, and just seeing the colors, and then they went on to win the game. I was just hooked ever since. So yeah, I've been following him around. Good pals with Nick Foligno from Sudbury, and he said, "You want to come down for a game?" I'm like, "Well, Flames are in town pretty soon, so two birds with one stone." Yeah.
So luckily for him, he didn't become a Maple Leafs fan.
Right.
Like,
Nieuwendyk is announcing now, isn't he?
I think so. Yeah, Nieuwendyk. Yeah. A lot of them end up in that. Yeah. There's, but yeah, it's interesting how that can happen. He's a Flames fan, and yet he is from Ontario, born and brought up in Ontario. So,
and we may have to do a back-to-back watch party nights on. So the cast of Shoresy is going to play 2 NHL alumni teams this winter.
Yeah, let me just call that up. So,
wow.
So Bourbon and Boarding, we may do a watch along.
So this is going to be the Shoresy Classic.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that they've actually got the cast are going to play, and they're going to play as I think as yet unspecified NHL alumni. I haven't seen any names.
I haven't seen the names. We know what teams it is.
And it's going to be it was originally going to be just like 1 or 2, but now they've got it in 5 cities.
Oh, they're adding to it, huh?
Yeah, so Toronto, Detroit, Buffalo, Boston, and
The Boston
Chicago.
one should be hilarious.
I have a feeling it'll be like the Harlem Globetrotters. A little bit more serious, but I have a feeling they'll have them mic'd up and be chirping and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, talking shit and yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what was the where's that arena in Boston? The Agganis?
Agganis, that is Boston University Stadium.
Okay. But I noticed the one in Detroit is in Little Caesars Arena. The Buffalo one's at the Key Bank. Is the
Boston University? You mean the Eagles? Is that who you're talking about?
No, that's BC.
Okay, I got you.
And I don't know. Is Chicago now called the Allstate Arena?
It might be.
Probably.
Yeah. They change names so often.
Yeah, they do.
Well, we definitely can't do 5 nights of watch-alongs, but we can pull clips from them.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, I'd love to go to one of these, but they're not playing any out here in the West. So
Detroit or Chicago would probably be the closest one to you.
These are all in November. So, but those could be fun. And there'll be bound to be a bunch of current NHLers as well as hired ones, I imagine. Nick Foligno, you mentioned that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's become a thing, Shoresy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's become this thing. I do have one more video clip I wanted to play, and this isn't from Shoresy, but it's Bram will know the clip. It's hockey interview cliches.
Right.
Yeah, you know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So you've got to listen closely to the questions in this one. So let me just share this.
Pro Hockey Media Relations 101.
That's right. Pro Hockey Media Relations 101 from 2015. So I guess it's the early genesis for Jared Keeso of what Shoresy would become. Listen closely to the questions and the answers.
All right, we got time for a few questions here. We got a plane to catch.
Johnny, another tough loss for the club. Fans throwing their jerseys on the ice. Tell us what went wrong out there.
We gotta have 4 lines banging bodies all night long, getting pucks out, keeping it simple.
Mike, this loss puts you guys in last place in the West. The coach's job is on the line. What's the solution here?
Well, we can start by staying out of the box. Play a disciplined game out there, pretty simple stuff. But we're frustrated here right now. We're a frustrated bunch. It's too bad that someone's got to wear it, and it's usually the coach. But at the end of the day, it's up to the guys in this room to get pucks deep, get pucks in the net, and win some hockey games.
Johnny, you were recently photographed in a Florida strip club snorting cocaine off a transvestite prostitute's breasts. What's the story there?
4 lines. 4 lines.
4 lines.
We gotta have, like I said, 4 lines banging all night long, banging bodies, doing the little things right.
Mike, where does your, this is off topic, I know, but where does your sexual preference tends towards men? Would you like to speak to that?
You can't always be in the box, Can't spend all your time in the box. It's like I said, this game is all about finding those holes one way or another. Finding those pockets out there. So, we got to just keep working hard, get pucks deep, get pucks in the net, and win some hockey games.
Johnny, true, you admitted yourself to a Colorado hospital with a gerbil inside your anal cavity.
Well, you gotta get it out right. You gotta clear your own zone. You get in trouble, you gotta get those pucks hard off the glass.
Mike, rumor is that there's a sexually transmitted fungal infection going on amongst the coaching staff. Who's to blame for that?
Ultimately, it's on the players. Ultimately, it's on the guys in this room. It's where it starts. It's like I said, it's too bad that somebody's got to wear it. It's usually the coach. But, we got a good group of guys in this room, a group of guys who likes to bounce back after something like that. So, ultimately, it's on the players to get pucks deep.
Get pucks deep.
Get pucks in the net.
Get pucks to the net.
And win some hockey games.
Thanks, Mike.
You bet.
That's awesome. Oh
I just love that first one. There's video footage of you snorting cocaine off a transvestite.
4 lines.
4 lines.
Banging bodies.
Oh my god!
So well, he's just spliced that into the stupid question, the formulate answers, and they do that in Shoresy and a lot of the interviews. Formulate answers, but taken to the extreme. It's
right.
Yeah,
that's too good, man.
So,
gotta clear your own zone.
The gerbil, you're taking the hospital with a gerbil.
Oh my god!
And in Shoresy, they portray it perfectly too, like because they're trying to like answer the question without answering it, because they're asking them like, "Oh, well, what's your plan for this period?" Like, yeah, because I'm going to lay out our
Like
entire
I'm
game
you,
plan
yeah.
ahead of time.
Yeah, it's great to have a hockey related show that's and especially a comedy.
That's a good show.
Yeah, it's a very good show. As I say, I don't know. I'm struggling to think, other than Letterkenny and Shoresy, of any television comedy I've even bothered to watch in the last 10 years. And I mean that. I can't think of any others. There might have been something, but
well, you sold me on it, man. I'm a big Slapshot fan. That looks a lot like it.
This is what comedy used to be, or could be, or should be. Now, yes, it's not for everybody because it's pretty out there for if you don't like language and other topics, related topics. There's a lot of stuff like that. But,
good to know.
But if you do, it's phenomenal. So
if you were offended by anything we played on this show, do not watch it, because that's the tame stuff.
That's
the shit we thought we could get away with.
If you don't like it, then give your balls a tug.
Give your balls a tug. Well, and for those who may not have liked Letterkenny, because I know there are a few people who did not care for Letterkenny, this is completely different. Like, there is an actual plot and story that goes through this, whereas Letterkenny was kind of just meandering through seasons, focusing on something that they found funny for that episode.
Yeah, one of the best descriptions of Letterkenny I've heard is, Canadian Seinfeld.
Yeah.
With
there was a loose plot.
Oh, about nothing.
But everyone watches Letterkenny for the insults.
Oh god,
yeah.
Just insult. But it also shows again that side of Canada that a lot of people in Canada don't want to pretend. They want to pretend that the soy latte crowd, that it doesn't exist. Well, it does exist.
Right.
Yeah, it's rural Canada. It's not for the mild.
No, it's not at all.
The Shreveport Mudbugs, and this is
the hockey team we have down here, and they started off in a Texas minor league, but now they're in the NAHL, which is like I want to say it's a junior league where they
AAA junior, I think. Isn't it?
They're the players are all trying to get seen by the NHL and stuff. I think they're all students and things like that. But I did want to show you a picture here, if I can get it up here. This is all the banners we've got up in our place, and it's called George's Pond. It's actually the Hearst Coliseum in Shreveport, and these are all division championships and stuff. And there's a few cups here. I mean, on this side, this is in the 90s. There's a bunch of President's Cups. That's what you see here. Those dark ones are the President's Cups. The rest of them are divisions. And then after the 2000s, that's when they became a junior league, and it's the Governor's Cup that they play for now. And like I said, they got a winning tradition in Shreveport, man. They've had this team around for a long time.
Double A, tier 2.
Yep.
Yeah, look at it. Yeah, it's not the AHL, which is the tier 1. But it's pretty good, man. I mean, that's a hell of a display.
Yeah, you walk in there and they take their hockey seriously, man. It's pretty cool. I've got a couple of friends that are season ticket holders, man. They go to every game. They live for it. Nice. Of course, they only play on like Friday and Saturdays when they're playing in town now. It used to be they had them all during the week and stuff, but when it was a semi-pro team. But now it's just weekends with the junior league,
I put one more clip in the private chat. It's a continuation of the opening to the show, where they talk about the other stuff that he does off the ice. If you want to do it, you can. But it starts at about the 52-second mark, since we already watched the first portion of it.
Let me get it queued up,
With pests, 1 or 2.
Right. Let me show on stream. You should be able to hear this okay.
Yeah, we could hear it when you were...
There we go.
Do a game over something. or someone.
Biz went to get the lowdown on this guy, and a couple of their boys played with him back in the day. And Biz says nothing personal here, but apparently he cries a lot. During the anthem, it's full Waterworks City, like he's watching Beaches or something.
And that's just...
I'm not done yet. He also likes to take a shit before every game and also between every period.
As I was saying, that's just the on-ice stuff. The off-ice stuff, from what I'm told, is crazy.
Oh, crazy.
His patented move was going up behind guys when they're hanging a piss at the urinal, bouncing their heads off the wall. Called that thing a potty kiss.
He
did this thing and just drove me nuts during interviews too, where he'd ask a question, then right after he'd go, huh?
Huh?
Look, we'll try. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. You answer. Okay?
Allons-y.
Don't you think hockey's getting a little soft?
Well,
Huh?
Je comprends.
Well, where's this guy now?
I was in a golf tournament with the Felinos this summer, and they said he was playing senior way up north in their town.
That's my town.
Sudbury?
Born and raised, baby. Sudbury, Ontario.
She's
Probably
hot.
one of the toughest towns you'll ever be in.
Bertuzzi's from up there.
There's an impossible amount of good-looking girls in Sudbury.
There's a 4-team senior league up in the area.
Wait, so they only played 3 other teams all year?
The Northern Ontario Senior Hockey Organization, otherwise known as
The No-Show.
Can you imagine how much those guys want to kill each other?
Well,
That's probably enough before
Sounds
you
like he's
get
in the right
in more
place.
trouble.
Yep. Senior hockey.
The No-Show.
But that pretty much sums up Shoresy as a person and a character.
Yeah,
it does.
And that's how they kind of start the whole series.
Yeah, it's a good introduction because it does get fit in a number of things you need to know about Shoresy. And I should also point out, we've talked a lot about the comedy, but there's a lot of hockey action in it, a lot of games, a lot of fights.
Yeah.
A lot of fights, a lot of action, a lot of chirping. It's got more than enough hockey in it. It's not just about the comedy.
Really well done fights too. Like the gyms look like they know what they're doing on skates.
I think that was the point.
Indeed. So anyway, there it was, Shoresy, our foray into modern day entertainment, which normally I don't do on this channel. It's normally old shit. So, but definitely worth watching if you've never seen it. Whether you're a hockey fan or a comedy fan, it's great, very funny show, and there will be one more season to come. So we got something to look forward to. And that was today's cult comedy crew. So let's wrap it up, guys. First of all, Joe, my friend, what have you got to plug?
Oh man, just the only I got the same schedule that I've had forever. The only change in it is I'm going to be doing the Brothers Hack the Matrix on Mondays from now on. Going to be on this show, and then about halfway through, get off of here and go to my channel and do the Brothers Hack the Matrix, where you get to find out everything going on in the clown show that is 2024 through today's headlines. Me and my brother do it once a week, so.
Cool.
We had to change days because the NFL started, and we both love it. And he always has people over on Sunday. He's been backing out on me every Sunday, so we decided to move it to Monday. So,
well, I hope we'll still be able to see you on here for a while.
Oh yeah, I'll be here every Monday. It's just I won't be here for the whole show. That's all.
And you're at 476 subs on YouTube. So if you haven't subbed to Joe, everybody get over there and get subbing to him.
I appreciate every one of them too. Thank you very much, guys.
Hope, my friend, what's going on with your good self?
Well, you can catch me every Saturday at 11 Eastern over on my channel on Rumble, where we talk a little bit, but we also play a lot of hard rock and heavy metal show I call Midnight Mass. Playing a lot of stuff I listen to, a lot of stuff I think needs more attention, and then occasionally, like twice this week, I've done special shows. Like the 24th was Rust in Peace by Megadeth's 34th anniversary, so I played that in its entirety. And then last night, after our discussion on Christian DeLorme's channel about Dire Straits, I went and did a whole hour show on that. So we had a lot of fun doing it.
There's no truth in the rumor that Dire Straits and Chris Rea are forming a supergroup called Diarrhea. Or
have you guys? I know you're big music lovers. Have you thought about doing something in honor of Chris Christopherson? Have you thought about that?
On the radar, yeah.
I was, I'd like to do a short video, but I'm on a bit of a road trip this week because I'm going down to see Judas Priest in Montana.
Nice.
So I may be short of time for that. But I was actually more interested in talking about his acting work. Not that I've got anything against his music, but I mean, I'm into some of his acting roles.
In a lot of movies. I know Christian Delorme's probably loves Convoy. I loved his co-star in it. She was gorgeous.
There's a lot of great stuff. Blade.
And then
Blade.
Of course, everybody knows the Blade movie.
Fallout New Vegas.
I'm trying to think about stuff that people may not have seen. If you've never seen Semi-Tough with him and Burt Reynolds, watch that movie. It's about semi-pro football, and it's hilarious.
Well, he did a Canon movie. I'd forgotten about it, so maybe I'll do it on Canon Film Club.
There you go.
Anyway, there's Pope's channel on Rumble, so check it out, everybody. Great music shows, trust me, they're good.
Yes.
So Brahma, my friend, thank you for being here, co-hosting. Obviously Bourbon and Boarding we'll talk about, but you two are teetering on the brink of, in fact, no, you're well over 500 subs now on your YouTube side.
Yep, just need a few hundred hours.
Yeah,
and hopefully get that during the VP debate tomorrow night.
Yeah, so you'll be going live with that. So if you haven't subscribed to Brahma, everybody, get over there, subscribe. But also stick some of his stuff on. It might be Bourbon and Boarding or whatever, and just let it run. Get those hours up.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd appreciate it. It'd be nice to finally make a couple bucks doing this because, the wife has not been happy over the last 2.5 years of me not making any money doing this.
Trust me, it's only a couple of bucks. So look at that those good-looking guys there.
Goons.
Yeah.
I like to call them goons. Yeah.
Going to watch a crappy Vegas game.
Oh.
But we got good seats.
Who won the championship last year? Was it Vegas?
Florida.
Florida Panthers.
Florida Panthers. Oh, the Panthers. That's right.
And as we just mentioned, and I'll just throw this up the stream, Bourbon and Boarding is back. Of course, Brahma and I are show on all our channels. We had our fantasy draft on Saturday, and our first show proper will be next Saturday. Although I don't know how much prep time I've got because I'll be driving back from Montana that day. So
there won't be much to go over because the season we'll only have one slate of games before the show.
Sure,
so.
but we'll find something to talk about. But it's great. Hockey's back, so look forward to a season of Bourbon and Boarding next Saturday night. So
every Saturday night.
Saturday night.
9:15 Mountain.
Another Saturday night, and I ain't got no money, as Cat Stevens once sang.
Yes.
Yeah, which means I've got to start being careful on Saturday nights with the bourbon because I've got to get up early for the Sunday show and church.
I don't, so
yeah.
Thank you everybody for being here. I hope you all enjoyed the show, enjoyed all the clips. God knows if this will probably get taken down later. I just blocked. I don't know. There's so many clips. I don't care. It's not going to be monetized anyway. It never was. Thanks to Eric K for the 5 gifted memberships. And thanks to everyone that's a member as well of the channel. Appreciate it very much. I'd like to thank the mods, D. Bud Martin. Thank you for doing all that great modding stuff. Davina, thank you for everything you've done too. Appreciate it very much. Lord Thoth as well. But thanks to all of you in the chat for being here. Courtney couldn't make the show, but she was in the chat. Hi, Courtney. I don't know if I'm going through Eureka. I'm going through Great Falls. I'll be going to Fort Benton, very historic place, and I'll be in Billings. So a bit of a 3-day road trip, 3-night road trip. Going to see Priest and Billings. So if anyone's in Billings, I'll be there for the Judas Priest Sabaton gig on Thursday night. But yeah, looks nice little road trip. Hopefully the weather will be good.
What you planning on doing on the show next week?
So next week I'm just going to be talking about the Priest road trip, showing some images and video clips, and we'll talk about Priest and Sabaton and about that gig. So a very relaxed show next week. The week after, though, I'm planning to do a science fiction classics show on the movie Dark Star.
Oh, yes, my boy John Carpenter.
So
yes. Yes.
Long delayed, but we're going to do that one. So that's the next 2 shows. After that, who knows? But yes, thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for your support of the channel. Appreciate it. Sorry about the Rumble side tonight. Oh, you're all watching on YouTube, so nobody in Rumble will hear that. So
they don't know that they missed it.
God knows what happened there. But anyway, hope you all have a great night. I'll see you, Brahma and I will see you all later. I'm assuming Brahma, then Comics Division.
Yeah, I've got to go watch the Penguin now before the show.
So see you all later on Monday Night Meltdown. And then have a great week, everyone. Catch you all later. Keep on rocking. Give your balls a tug.